I am telling you, it is the definition between an entrepreneur and an employee. The employee goes to the cliff, looks over the cliff, says, is there a balloon down there? Do I be safe? What happens if it hurts? What if I land on my neck? The entrepreneur, they said, we need to jump off the cliff, backs up 10 feet to get a fucking run.
This town needs an enema.
Fuck.
Who are you? Where's Commissioner Gordon?
Come on. You guys just beat me.
Too stupid!
You don't really think you can leave? Things change.
You've got me? Who's got you?
Everything changed. And anyone who tells you different is just lying.
You know who this is? This is Mark motherfucking Sylvester.
Yeah.
I missed it. You might. I think I missed it.
That's
I think I
okay.
missed it.
Don't worry about it. We got bigger issues.
Much bigger issues going on right now. Sean,
Joe
it is 8 o'clock on a Thursday,
Yes.
and we're about to dive into some Batman Hush Part 2. How does it make you feel?
Great. I love revisiting this stuff. I love it as much as I did 20 plus years ago. So it's always
Yeah.
good. And it kind of puts a little spark under my ass for when I work on my
like
pages
that.
for Type 1. Indie Man on Indiegogo right about now.
Inspiration. You know, we got the Spawn review that's always inspiring for the most part, especially when we look at Brett's stuff.
Yeah.
And you do a show like this where we're going over something that has such an impact, right? We talked about this last week with Hush Part 1 that when this dropped in 2002, this had a huge impact on both of our lives. We're still in our early 20s when this happened, you know, it's young stallions making a way in the world and all that kind of stuff. And
Bad
this
decisions.
was
Yep,
bad.
yep.
And this was, you know, it's funny because I was refreshing the issues for today because we're going to be looking at 611 through 613, I believe.
Yep.
And I was just, it blew my mind when I was thinking about it, you know, because sometimes I forget like how old some of this is because it's not dated, right? When you look at it, it's not like looking at something from the early 90s, late 80s where it looks dated, right? With technology,
Yes.
colors, all that kind of stuff. And this isn't dated, you know, like, so I look at it, I feel like it's not that long ago. And I'm like, damn, 2002, you know, like 20 years ago, more than that, you know, 23 years ago. But it dawns on me, I was like, just like how important this was when it came out, like how important it was to me as a reader and as an aspiring artist coming up for this to hit at the time it did, to just give the excitement to kind of jump back into comics. Cause I was kind of in and out of comics in my late teens, early 20s, you know, getting into girls, getting into music, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I got back into comics because of this, because of Hush, because I saw it at the spinner racks at the grocery store. And it just brought me back in, and the art was amazing. And yeah, going through this has been fun. It's been, you know, rejuvenating the whole energy and excitement for comic books. You know, I'm getting excited for the sequel, and yeah, it's just reading it. There's some things I'm catching now that I didn't catch back then because I didn't really read too much of it, you know. And I'm trying to read a little bit more, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess I never really knew that, you know. So we're gonna cover some cool stuff when we get rolling. Henry says, Joe Cool and Sean Nana. I like that. I'm digging
Love it.
that.
Let's go with that.
I'm
Hashtag that
digging that.
shit. Hashtag that shit. Make
Yeah.
it a shirt.
I'm
But
really,
you know what? This
I'm really digging it.
this is better than most shit that's on the stands. Like even 20
Yeah.
plus years later on. Like this could
Yeah,
contend with the
100.
best of them.
100.
It could WWF body slam them and all that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You know, few things come out anymore these days with such excitement and it pays off like it did in the early 2000s when this dropped. You know, Jim Lee
Sure.
coming over to DC for the first time, Jeff Loeb coming over. You know, he'd already written some really good story or some really good arcs. Long
Halloween.
Long Halloween. Thank you, Long
Their
Halloween.
Superman run, which I'm reading coincide this, which came out in like 1999. That's balls to the wall fucking fun comics, man.
Yeah,
That's great comic
yeah.
books.
Yep, and the story in this was great. So we're going to jump into this in a second. Let's say hi to the chat real quick.
Do it.
I lost a couple people in the chat. You know how YouTube does that. I posted this show actually a couple days ago. So shout out to Blue Boy who was in the chat. He thought he was first, but first does fall to Mark Penguin who jumped in here at the very beginning, getting in there nice and early. So you are number one.
You're number one.
My man, great to see you.
Blue, you still my boy.
You my boy. Oh, dude, I need that. Okay. See, I'm trying to find these videos for some of these guys that are in the chat on a regular basis or whatever. Like
Right.
Mark Penguin, need a video for. Hale Laura, I need to get a video for. Sheldon Martin, I need to get a video for. And Blue, but that's great. I'm going to find that. You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
Dude. Yeah, I'm going to find that clip. That's what it's going to be. Michael Pritchard's in the house.
What's
Says,
up?
so Jim Lee, you think he'll have a career in comics? Maybe.
Jury's still out.
Yeah, just, you know, he might be all right.
Maybe.
He might be all right.
Some
We got pizza in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of member of
There
the
he
channel,
is.
Sheldon Martin in the house. What's going on, brother?
What are you doing up?
Oh my God! I'm sorry! I can't stop coming! I'm sorry! Oh, it feels so good!
Yes, it does.
Well, it feels so good. Welcome to
good.
the show, my friend. Wiley J is in the house. Says, wow, am I early for once? This one time.
Yeah.
This one time. We won't let it break your record for being
Yeah.
late. But this one time, my friend, yes, you are early, ready to roll.
We did it for you.
Yeah. Got Phantasmagorical in the house.
Good to
I'm
see you.
nailing that name lately. It used to trip me up, but I'm getting it every single time now. I'm
Good.
becoming more and more professional at this. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We really do appreciate you. Edwin's in the house says, hail peeps. Hail to you.
Yeah,
my friend.
base.
Hail to you.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Azzarello run was before or after this,
After.
but it was good too.
After. Right after.
Was it after? Okay, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
it
I'm
was
not sure
good.
either.
It was good.
Henry says, man, you guys are younglings, ex-babies, snot-nosed punks, children. Take that. Just kidding. Please don't be mad. Hey, I'll
I'm a
take it.
punk.
Yeah, I'm a snot-nosed brat. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Me.
All right, let's get going. It is Thursday. I'm feeling good. Welcome to
Art and stuff. Your favorite podcaster's favorite show about comics and art and stuff. 25 years in the business on technicality. Over 40 years consuming and collecting the comic book medium in many formats. Like Norman, my skills are the baits. I may be a little dysfunctional, but I'm functional. I'm recklessly charismatic. I've been killing it since days of B-boy belt buckles. Editor
Damn.
extraordinaire. You hear that, Kayla? Gifted
Oh,
narcissist with a dedicated personality, the Hispanic God on paper. You hear that, Ollie? I'm smoother than your days in underoos. Creator type 1, the only one except no duplicates. I'm cooler than a gang. Jersey's finest. You hear that, Ethan? Sean Ahrent. With me as always, my brother Not.
I'm the very talented, very sexy, very distinguished, always narcissistic, but never vain. Staunch defender of Rob Liefeld and Gina Carano, and a lover of all things 90s. Joseph Michael Sonntag, or Joe M Sonntag if you prefer, or as the Pope likes to call me, JMS, or as the chat likes to call me, Ronan Joe. Welcome to the show, and as always, an awesome show we have for you tonight, because we are looking at Hush Part 2. We're going to dive into that in a second. But real quick, we got Art Haida in the house. Says, hey, Joe, is Reaper done fulfilling? Not yet. No, we are still knee deep in that thing. Slow process, and it's going out. So if you haven't got your book yet, please be patient. It is heading out there, but no, we are still very much fulfilling the book.
And hi to the you too.
And yeah, and hi to you too. Yeah. All right, last week we looked at issue 608 through 610, which was the start of Jim Lee's very incredible Batman Hush run with Jeff Loeb writing, Scott Williams doing the inks as always, and Alex Sinclair doing the colors. Just a beautiful masterpiece work, epic proportions in the early 2000s to drop out of DC when DC was really kind of taking their spot, in my opinion, as the top dog, because they got this, and then not too long after this, or right around the same time, they got Michael Turner to do the Batman Superman run that he did, also written by Jeff Loeb, by the way. One of the reasons why Jeff Loeb is my favorite writer is because of Hush, because of Batman, Superman,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously other things, but primarily for me, that is why right there.
Yeah, DC
Yeah.
was killing it back in the early 2000s, like till about 2005 when they tried to do all that crisis bullshit. They were just killing it. They had Kevin Smith, they had Jeff Loeb,
Yeah, it's
Azzarello. They had some heavy-hitter writers and artists. Artists were killing it. Jim Lee, Michael Turner, like you were just saying, great stuff. I'm just gonna skim through these pages. We're just gonna pinpoint cool shit just so we could keep it on a good scheduling. Because I gotta watch Gossip Girl.
Oh yeah, Gossip Girl. All right, so last issue we ended with the kiss, right? It picks back up with the kiss. It's the first time Bruce and Selena kiss. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If not,
Yep,
the
yep.
nerds can get on us, but we're gonna stick with that. So it ends with that. In that process, though, Catwoman is talking about like she's got sources, right? The Poison Ivy is hiding out because they're looking for Poison Ivy because all the issues that happened with the first couple issues, hiding out in Metropolis, so they're gonna be heading there. That's pretty much the premise. But I love the interactions here, how they just kind of they hang on the kiss for a while, right? Because it's important. It's a really important thing within their relationship, and something else happens that's pretty big coming up in the story as well that are first for the two characters. Interesting thing though, Bruce runs into Thomas Elliot, oddly enough, in Metropolis as soon as he gets there, and they hitch a ride together and hang out and do, old best friend stuff.
Yo, what a twist it would have been if it zoomed in and they're kissing. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh, jeez.
Like, this is 20 years too early.
I'm out. I would have been out. Yeah, about 20 years too early. Easy boy, you play your hands right, and there will be plenty more where that came from. Damn, Catwoman.
I like that
Hot,
kind of
sexy.
confidence.
Just putting
those
it out
ribs.
there. I'm sure she's got to be pretty fun. I'm just saying. Just saying.
With whips and shit, fucking sign me up.
First kiss in the modern age, maybe. That might be. Yeah.
Possible,
But hey,
possible.
we're starting the rumor anyway, Wiley J.
Here.
Regardless if it's true or not. We're starting the rumor here that this is the first time. Pretty interesting. I like, again, we were talking about how Jim did the kind of I don't know, this ink wash kind of style for the flashbacks that they do throughout the entire story of him and Thomas when they were kids. And they kind of just talk about the story about when they were kids and being in Metropolis, and kind of seeing, was this Alan Scott? Was that the Green Lantern at the time?
Yep.
Silver, was this Golden Age or Silver Age?
Comes first. Golden? Yeah. Yes.
Well, I couldn't remember like where it fell within the timeline of everything.
He's the first Green Lantern.
Okay.
But he's not. That's a story for another day. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Their kids will probably be kissing in a new Hush. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it'd be 20 years later. They'd be, if they had them. Beautiful art though. I just really like this kind of ink wash style.
Experimental.
I don't know if I want to see an entire book of it, but then again, if they put something out like this, I might be into it. I don't know.
Depends on the story, the characters. I wouldn't want to see like a Justice League book like this.
Yeah,
but I would like to see maybe a Bruce tale. Like that would be cool.
Yeah,
or
Henry
Bruce
says,
and Selena in bed. That would be hot.
oh, see, now you go a little bit, a little bump, Henry said, cool watercolors, a great effect. Yeah, what's cool about this is this was black and white. And so Sean brought this up because I forgot about it last week, that Alex Sinclair actually added the color to the black and white to kind of bring it out, which gives it a really cool, just watercolor kind of feel. So shout out all the way around. But what was that, Captain Cold?
Maybe, but here, like, look at the dry brush effect texture. So it looks kind of like gritty dice. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's again, this was some of Jim's best work. It may, depending on where you fall, right, in the era of Jim Lee. Some people love the X-Men stuff, the Uncanny X-Men, X-Men
Yeah.
Run. Some people like his early Image stuff. I like it all. But when you talk about storytelling, right? This was his first long run since Uncanny X-Men that he was on a book for. Yeah, he did 12 issues of 12 or 13 issues of Wildcats, but that was kind of spread out, right? This was like a
Yeah.
long year run of a book, and he nailed it. Sequential storytelling on this was fantastic. The digital version of this is awesome because you really get to see all of the beautiful line work, the beautiful colors without the downgrade a little bit with the printing. And I'm a physical media guy, so I absolutely love the physical books, but it is fun to look at the digital versions of this.
Beautiful gradation. Take
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I always love that kind of gradation on the face. You know, Sylvester. It was like a '90s thing, right? Like Sylvester did it,
Silvestri, Rob
Liefeld did
does
it.
it. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it adds so much kind of character and lighting to the face when you put those kind of lines in there. Just moody sets the mood, you know. And I really like the silhouette here because you're putting the focus on the characters that are talking. You know, Bruce isn't talking in this panel, so you just boom silhouette him out, put all the focus on Thomas Elliot. Yeah, it's pretty just great work.
Oh, bitch. Come back here, Dame.
So this was okay. So the story kind of bounced around, all right? So we're on the rooftop, but we go into the future in Metropolis, and we bounce back to the rooftop again. Um, I can't remember what she was talking about here.
Let me know if you want me to pause because I'm just gonna be zooming through this shit.
No, go ahead, because being that we have to go through 3 issues, I just want to hang on. You can pause here, though.
Gorgeous. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you can
gorgeous.
pause here.
Yeah.
On some of these beautiful shots right here. We'll cruise through some of this book, guys, because we got quite a bit to get through, and I didn't want to have another 2-hour show like we did last week, but we are going to pause on some things like this just to appreciate, no pun intended, the comic book art
Different show.
style. Yeah. That is Jim Lee and this beautiful down shot looking into Gotham as he's watching Catwoman jumping off the ledge. You got this great just back shot of Batman, the cape, the muscles in the lighting. Just watching the buildings as they kind of fall and disappear behind your sight. It's just it's beautiful work. Like this is the kind of stuff that absolutely gets me excited about comic book art.
The cape looks heavy.
Yeah, it does.
Like
Yeah,
as it's contorted to his body.
Yeah, yep. Which is an
Yes.
interesting choice because technically, I mean, you didn't have to do that. You could have made it a little bit more just solid, like it's an actual cape. But yeah, it's almost kind of like hugged to his body, like it's part of him until it gets a little bit lower and then it flows out.
Or the wind is blowing, you know?
Yeah.
like,
Oh, there
against
you
his
go.
Torso
Oh, there.
when the wi-
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I tried to rip this off for the first page of Type 1.
Nice.
I failed, but I still made it look awesome and dope. Back Type 1 bums. But
Yeah, don't be a
this is-
bum. Back type 1. Let's go.
Look where his eyes going. I
Yeah,
see you.
perfect.
I'm a
telling you.
detective as well.
I'm telling you, Jim Lee has got a little bit of the teenage pervert in him.
He's a pervy Petey.
Yeah, I like it. You know,
Nothing
I'm
wrong with
I'm
that.
all for it. I'm all for it. Gotta take a quick shout out to Twisted Dreams is in the house. Great to see you, brother.
Subject's notes. The extraction theory papers. Am I the only one who did the
Thank you for being here tonight, man. We really, really appreciate you.
Good to see you.
Part 2, which is issues 611 through 613.
Mhm.
Yes, Wiley J says Lee can draw the hot babes. Henry says I like all Jim Lee stuff. I like his Death Blow stuff. It's also had a cool look to it. I guess a lot of people cried that he looked like Frank Miller. Who cares? It rocked. But that was the thing. Like he was trying to. Like it wasn't
It's not a secret.
it's like a revisionist history, right? People nowadays want to look back and like make judgments, but at the time it was no secret. He wanted to do he was inspired by Sin City. He wanted to do something like that, and he experimented and he did it. It was awesome. So those people that want to cry about it, whatever. They're nerds. Nerds.
Yeah. Nice
Bat-
face shots.
Hence, while checking out the alleyways, yes. The tones of the colors are awesome. It increases its beauty. Yeah, Alex
Yeah.
Sinclair did a fantastic job in this. I didn't really know who he was until this book came out, and then I definitely knew after this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the three of them have been a team for over 20 years, maybe 25 years.
When did it
Maybe,
start? When did
maybe
Alex? Because
Divine
Alex was
Right.
Wildstorm, but
Yeah, but like
was it
late
Divine Right?
Wildstorm. It might have been
Yeah, yeah.
around that era. Um, I could be mistaken, but yeah. Because I know
Okay.
he did like all like the fine print DC stuff Jim was doing at the time before he
Yeah.
did storytelling shit. But now he's a master. You know,
I
it's
love
not like Haberlin. I'm sorry, go for it.
No, finish your thought.
No, like guys like Haberlin or Furcow, their color palettes or their techniques and tricks.
Yeah.
It works well with Jim. You know, like it just between the inks and the pencils and the colors, it seems like it works. It's not overly fancy or flashy or
It's not too heavily
cuts.
rendered, you know?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just
Yeah.
fine and it works.
I think it accentuates the line art really well without covering it up, and, you
Mhm.
know, it kinda has a feel of some of the old school flatter tones to
Yes.
it, which I think
Yes.
works with especially with Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Because a lot of modern colorists can way over render.
Yeah.
Um, it's just it is what it is, you know. I mean, technology is what it is, but like, yeah, it's a reason why this team sticks together as long as they have.
Mhm.
In the story, I was gonna say, I think it's funny, like, Bruce drops in on Lois Lane and Clark Kent, and he's dropping in the Bruce Wayne mode, right? And he's very flirtatious with Lois Lane in this scene. Like, uh, I I don't know if it's just a ploy because at the time I can't remember were Clark and Lois married at this time in the
Yes.
comics? They were?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did Yeah, I don't know. It's just a funny scene, like just showing the interactions between them all, I guess. And I don't know. I just it's very flirtatious going on. Of course, it was all part of whatever it was. Oh yeah, because he says Miss Kent. Okay, yeah. So I guess it takes actual reading to find that part out.
Classic storytelling for Superman. Goes in the
Yeah.
closet
Oh
where
yeah.
there's no windows to escape from.
Yeah, but I do like the sequence there, just the
That's so
showing of
great.
him taking off the glasses, but the angle he uses, right, is just the shot of
Yeah.
the coming off, from the back there, and then
Sure.
just the classic dun 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 dun,
Yes, it's
dun,
good, dude. Does it always play in your head when you see
oh,
that?
100%,
Like,
yeah, 100, it cannot, it
yeah,
never can. It's like that's just it's what it will always be that, but and there's something about the Superman symbol too that's just iconic, classic. Anytime you see it, it's just still to this
inspiring.
day, I love it.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
I
yeah.
can't say, it's so a scene like that where you're just kind of doing the old school reveal is pretty awesome. Um, and so here's a twist though.
Mm,
Talia's in town. I can't remember exactly why she's in town or why she's
Dick.
in Metropolis,
Yeah.
but he visits her. You're vibrating. Oh, Jeff Loeb, I see what you're doing there. My past relationship with Talia was completed. I think of Selena and the matter at hand. Yeah, because they got it on every once in a while.
Yeah, they got a kid.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Damien. Duh. But
Mhm.
did they have a kid at this point though, or did that come later? See, I get
Couple years later.
okay. My timeline gets thrown off with some of this stuff when they introduced Damien, like because I knew he was in the Capullo run, but
Yeah. Now he came around Grant Morrison, which was like
Morrison, that's right.
97-ish.
This issue really plays on that kiss. I mean, they constantly have like this dynamic between him and Catwoman in this issue. Oh man, look at that gorgeous art again.
Because it's forbidden fruit to a degree.
Yeah, there you go. This right here is a perfect example of how Jim Lee at this point has really started to kind of pull away from the heavy rendering. This
Mhm.
is like the Magnolia heavy blacks, not a lot of rendering out of those blacks, just heavy, solid black areas that
Mhm.
works and is probably a lot faster to draw. But it's a lot different if you go back and look at the first few issues where it is the classic kind of Jim Lee cross hatching and heavy rendered stuff.
I
That's just,
saw
man,
Walden
beautiful, man.
Wan's review of the 608 oversized pencil and ink version.
Oh,
Those pencils for that double of the first splash page and double page splash of with Killer
mm-hmm.
Croc. Fucking fire, dude.
Just
Like
the
I
pencils.
just the pencils. The other side was inked,
Yeah.
but which was just as gorgeous because of Scott Williams. But dude, I wish fucking he continued with that bulkier brute, Frank Miller. But it doesn't really convey with the story that they're going down the road.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is too, right? Like I like the Miller style Batman, but I like the Neil Adams style as well, the more leaner, athletic Batman.
Yeah.
So I thought it was an interesting mix that he did with this. She was CEO of LexCorp at the time because she had to step down because he was president of the United States and had to invest all of his holding. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know exactly what was going on in DC as a whole around this time. I just tuned in for Batman, so
Oh, it's a shot.
man, what a great shot. So Catwoman's trying to get some information out of Poison Ivy after being kind of controlled there in the last few issues. And Poison Ivy pretty much, it's like, I can tell you're not under my spell anymore, or whatever you want to call it. And just beautiful backhand there. Just nice pose. I love the arching back, the chest poking out there. Not just because of the boobs,
But
but
mostly
just
because of the boobs.
Mostly because of the boobs. Yeah, let's not lie.
It's called
Uh,
onomatopoeia.
Yeah, there you go. They had a kid in Son of Demon, a non-canon 80s book that they later made canon. Really? Okay. I never read that. I didn't know that they had any son until the Damian Wayne era. Classic Image comic, Women Eyes. Yeah.
That's what we do in these parts.
And a lot of that comes from Art Adams, John
Oh
Byrne.
yeah. Yeah.
It's all
Animated.
Yeah.
See, that's cool.
Man,
That was the last time. You feel
just
that.
powerful punches.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're kind of. Let me hold on a second. Let me
Yeah.
change the. Yeah, that works. We'll put us down here for a second. The first panel there, I just love the momentum of the punch. Now it's interesting with storytelling. Catwoman's punch is would technically lead the eyes off page, especially with the speed lines, which is usually something you don't want to do because you want to let the reader go from left to right. But the motion of Poison Ivy kind of pulling you back there brings you back into the third panel. And then the punch in the third panel leads you out to the second panel leads you to the third panel and then the kick out and everything. And I think that leads you up to the next page. So storytelling wise, still fantastic, but captures the power, which is kind of funny. If you go back up to that first panel, I didn't realize this and I didn't use this as inspiration or at all, but it's funny, like artists, that us that were just paid so much attention to the art in this kind of era. I've got a scene in Reaper Destroyer where he's doing a punch very similar to like that exaggerated punch that Catwoman's doing in the first panel.
Oh, dude, all of those we have those stock images in our arsenal, whether we remember or not.
Exactly. It's burnt in our brains. There's some of the stuff that's it's infused in our heads and it just kind of comes out. But it's all the influences, right? It's just it's beautiful. And then again, the silhouette there of Catwoman. Again, a little bit Frank Miller stuff. And I dig it,
With the shits.
You got the side boob going on there.
I like the side boobs.
The side boob is good. Man, great upshot there.
Yep. Those noses are tough. Those
so hard to draw.
Yeah.
So hard. Because if you get it wrong, somebody looks like a pig.
Yes.
You have to nail that nose, otherwise it just completely ruins that upshot of the face. But Jim Lee is fantastic at it. Absolutely great at it. Yeah, these shots in general. All right, let me get back to here. Absolutely killing it. I mean, okay, if Poison Ivy doesn't have her shit, Catwoman's gonna beat the shit out of her. It's just the way it is, And she's kind of showing that she absolutely can dominate Poison Ivy in this aspect, even making her bleed a little bit. Do you bleed green? I like that line. That's pretty cool.
That's a shot. That's
again, great shot. Great shot. See, Jim Lee, I said it last week that when he does paneling, he really likes to experiment with the different camera angles. He wants to make things look interesting. And, I got that for watching him on his Twitch streams. where he kind of explained it. But like, to do these kind of just really interesting upshots here, where again, think about drawing Poison Ivy's face right here at that
Yeah.
angle. That's hard to do. And there's still some things where it looks maybe just a little bit off if you're kind of like trying to really turn your head or
Sure,
whatever.
sure.
But I love the fact that he's attempting to do like that kind of a shot that requires you to really think about like how does the face look at that angle? Because you could really mess it up if you draw it in just a slightly different way. Past Master Dan's in the house. What's going on,
What's up,
brother?
brother? Good to see you. Awesome. Hope all
Good
is
to
well.
see you.
Hey, you know what's cool? Like it's all like bowling pins and shapes, just blocking out one
Yeah.
in front of the other. Like it's all mathematical. Like I'm a sped, but like
Oh.
I get it. It can make sense, like shapes and forms.
Oh
this
yeah.
type
Yeah.
of shit. But
Yep.
I can't balance my checkbook for shit. But that's my problem.
Sheldon Martin says always go tits out when backhanding. Yeah, everybody knows
Yeah.
that. That's right. And
Ah,
Wiley J says she can dominate me. Oh, I
Pervert.
got you.
Same.
So anyway, vines come out, choking Catwoman, doing the thing. You're doing the Poison Ivy thing. Batman comes in. Again, so now here's the thing. We saw the one page where it was very heavy, solid blacks, and now this
Mhm.
panel is back to kind of the more classic Jim Lee underlighting, gradiated rendering. So it does kind of bounce back and forth. And here's another interesting, who made this famous? Maybe it was Frank Miller.
What's
But
up?
this whole shot of Poison Ivy down here where you basically blank out half her face, but you don't use blacks. He just if you look at the line work on her face, is basically chin, lips, nose,
Yeah.
eyebrow, eye, and outlined by the hair. And so, Alex Sinclair goes in there and fills everything in. I don't know where the technique originated from. It's something I saw the 90s guys do. You see, if you go back into any of the 90s books, you'll see that kind of technique pop up here or there a lot more.
You know, it
And
could have gone as far back as Kirby. It could have been Neil
Could've.
Adams. Could have been Byrne. Could have been Simonson. Kayla, where are you when we need you? She'd be like,
she'd
"It
be
was
like,
in this
"Ah,
issue."
Adams.
In 1943, he wasn't born, but Adams did it. All right. You can relax.
It
Beautiful
looks good though.
gradation.
Wait.
What's that?
What's that thing popping up there?
Oh,
You got
where? Oh, I didn't even see that.
don't worry, I caught it.
Okay. It's still there. Hold on.
Yeah, you clear it out.
Oh, you know, it's good because we could go to the next page, which goes to the. I had to see it on the bottom of what was happening. I was kind of into it for a sec.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We're
Are we
good.
good?
We're good. Yeah.
All right, there we go. Wiley J says, "Am I the only one that misses the yellow around the bat symbol?" I'm sure there's people out there that miss it. Even though I'm wearing a shirt that's got the classic kind of
Oh, look at that.
yellow. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Representing tonight.
Sure.
I liked this design, this bat design better. To me, the yellow never made sense. I know Frank Miller tried to make sense out of it as far as making like, a place for the criminals to shoot and like all that kind of stuff. It didn't make sense to me. It's not my favorite. Aesthetically in the movies, I thought it worked good. Like the very first movie, I thought it worked pretty good. But I would prefer the Batman symbol or the Batman stuff, the logo that Jim Lee did and how they kind of go forward. So here we go. One line that was interesting. Poison Ivy's getting her ass kicked. Batman shows up after she starts pulling her tricks with the roots and all that kind of shit. And she says to Catwoman, like, "Oh, you brought somebody," or however she phrases it, a champion or something. And she's like, "Luckily I've got my own." And then Superman shows up. Now here's the thing. Superman is under Ivy's control, which to this point I don't think was ever possible. Am I right on this, Sean and chat? I don't think that Superman was able to be under the control of Poison Ivy before. Has it ever happened? Chat, you tell me, because I'm not as adverse in the whole DC lore as other people might be, but I think this might have been another first. And if not, we're making see, we find out at the end of this episode or at the end of the issue that Batman kind of figures out that Poison Ivy wouldn't have been able to do this on its own. Like there was something with the infused kryptonite or something with her lipstick that was able to kind of allow her, to kind of control him or whatnot.
See,
So
women just need help. It's not all about them. They need help from men.
yeah, but it was, seeing this, she was, yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought it was. It's been a while since I've like read this word for word. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, like kryptonite lipstick or something. That's one of the things that Batman kind of deducts either in the end of this issue or the next issue, where it's like, she wouldn't have been able to come up on her own. She had to have had help, but just the fact that he shows up, throws plans all out of whack. Great shot here. I don't
That's
mind a,
tough.
yeah, like drawing the boobs from that angle is tough.
Yeah. The whole page, like different planes and perspectives. Like you got them just kind of standing in the air, straight on. You got rubble debris. You got him in the foreground. Then her the way she's positioned. Make that all
Yeah.
three-dimensionally, like genius shit.
Art of Roy is in the chat. Great to see you,
Going
brother.
on. Cool,
Fantastic artist, by the way. He
Yeah.
says
He makes
it's an
us sick.
old. It makes us very sick. It's an old technique used in poster book covers, collage type designs that empty half the face.
Cool.
Talking about the whole poison ivy technique. So nice.
Nice.
Okay. I don't know, like I want to know like what the reason is behind it. If it's just kind of like a stylistic thing or whatever. I dig it, but appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you for the information.
Mhm.
So something used in old poster books. Very cool. Very cool.
What a great cover. Great fucking cover.
Poison Ivy does get around. She does, man. I want to know how many people she's actually like banged or given the green lipstick BJs to, control them somehow. It's not just kisses, like there's got to be something else that
like rim
happens.
jobs.
It could be, it could be a rim job in that.
I like making circles on my bicycle.
Hormones. Was that what it was? I know there was kryptonite within her lipstick that was able to kind of get through to Superman there. But maybe that was. Maybe there was hormones or pheromones.
Definitely horrors involved.
They say something about it where he's figuring it out. Like, like all these things are happening that he starts to kind of feel like realize it's not coincidences. Like all these villains he starts running into, everybody kind of acting out of sorts, so to speak. It says not poster books, posters and pulp novels. Oh, you can overlap images into that space. Gotcha. Yeah, I never really spent much time looking at those, so that's probably why I never really noticed those before. Or reading, yeah. What up, Dennis? Great to see you, brother.
Yeah.
So anyway, Poison Ivy feeling pretty confident in herself, wrapped around Superman, like, very, very sexy there. Just go kill him. This is okay. This is kind of funny to me with the whole Batman thing where she's like, tell me you have a plan. I laugh at that because everybody always says, what's the trope with Batman? He's always got a plan. Give him time to figure something out and he can defeat anybody. And he's just like, if I know him, and I do, I know what his next move will be. Great shot there in the face too. Did we miss a page there?
They did. Let me reload this page. Motherfucker.
Okay. Those bastards. Let me pull it back. Yeah. I was about to say we missed something there.
Yeah, that was a cool shot too.
Pheromones. Okay, that's yeah. Pheromones. Yeah, again, a lot of these villains were getting help from essentially Hush when we lead to the storyline. We're not to that point yet. So we're just gonna kind of go as the story goes. I'm not going to talk about who Hush is yet and like all that kind of stuff. Even though anybody read this knows. How many bugs are victims of her Venus flytrap? Oh, a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot.
Oh, it's not loading, motherfucker.
All right. Well, what did we miss?
I don't know.
No, it's all good. If it doesn't load, it doesn't load.
How many women? Never mind.
If you haven't read it, go read it, go pick it up, all that kind of stuff. If we miss a couple pages here, it's no big deal.
It's a masterpiece. How could you have not looked at this?
Yeah. All right, bringing you back in here.
All right,
this is the last time. If it doesn't load this time, then we're moving on.
We're chugging along.
I wanted to bring up though that the going into the sewer though was the big thing because it was not necessarily a sewer, but a tunnel that There we go. Okay, there we go. So he's getting ready to blast him. Batman being quicker than his eye beams, apparently, but it works.
Yeah. Okay. I don't buy
You
that.
know? It's okay, you have to again, the whole Batman versus Superman thing is you got to give Batman help because it just doesn't make sense. You know, like to me, this is over in 2 seconds, but whatever. It's
Yeah.
Batman's Batman book, so we get this shot. So now we covered the diving into the water there, and nice fish.
He's like,
You know, what's interesting? There's the what was it? It was the Kevin Smith interview that Jim Lee did, the Fat Man on Batman,
mm,
where Jim Lee was talking about putting the treads on Batman's boots.
yeah.
And at first he was like, you know, because of Frank Miller, he was like, this is pretty cool. And then he realized that every time he showed the bottom of his feet, they had to draw those intricate, detailed
Hey,
treads. And he's like, it was a mistake.
you know what? Kayla gave me shit. Well, she gives everybody shit for not drawing treads on
We love you,
characters.
Caitlin.
We look nothing but love to that girl. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're an editor. And I'm like, no, fuck you. You're an editor. Like that's your stuff. I draw a lot of feet getting kicked in somebody's face. Like I'm gonna cut that out.
Hail Lore's in the house. Great to see you. We
Hey.
got Dale A as well. Batman is pretty fast.
Hey.
Don't hate. That's what again, that's the plot armor that they have to give. They have to
That's a
give.
great gesture.
This is okay. Classic Jim Lee, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah.
obviously you can trace this back to Jim Lee's influences and people like that. But this was kind of the Jim Lee, I think, cornered the market on the really good hand throwing gestures, whether it was
Mhm.
shooting or flying or whatever, but the hand to the camera. I think he's one of the best when drawing that hand position. And it's not easy. Have you ever tried doing it?
No, you're
It's
trying to yeah. All the different planes to make it
yeah, to make it look like, you know,
yeah.
because you draw a finger in the wrong direction and it looks like a finger's broken or it's going up too backwards too high, you know, to get that
Yeah.
finger to look like it's actually coming to you and make it look realistic is hard. And Jim Lee was like one of the best at it. That was one of the things that always impressed me about Jim Lee. I always tried to copy that technique. It's still hard for me to do.
Sulking in the she's a loser.
Yeah, she just putting Superman down to his face. You know, she's thinking she's pretty high on herself right now.
Yeah, I'll come for you, baby.
The green lips. I'm just saying, you know, like I just, you know,
I'm not mad about it.
I'd be there.
I would definitely be there.
Roy is saying Adam Hughes is the best at that. I'd have to pay more attention to Adam Hughes' art to give you a fair assessment at that, but I will take your word on that right now.
Mhm.
Everyone had to draw treads on Batman's boots after Jim did it. Yeah, and not just Batman's boots. Every boot.
Heavy. That's why I started
It's like,
giving everybody high heels.
yeah, like he wasn't the first to do it, obviously, but when this came out, like it became a trend, and all of a sudden treads all over the place. So anyway, they go into these underground tunnels, which are lead lined. This is basically what I'm getting to. Like Lex made them, I'm pretty sure, to hide out from Superman. So they're lead lined. Superman can't see through them. Gives them a little bit of time to kind of get away from Superman and reevaluate, rethink about what's going on here. And of course, Batman's got a plan. No, I do love Jeff Loebs. I'm not giving him shit here. It works. It's a good story. It's good storytelling. But he's got that utility belt. He's got all the stuff in the utility belt. He was able to have the little snorkeling stuff to get through the water, the powered boots there to propel him and all this stuff. I like it. Tech wise, I don't care. It's fun storytelling. And of course, he's got this ring that Bruce or that Clark gave him a long time ago. I have no idea what story, what issue, when that actually happened, but I know that Clark was the one that gave Bruce this ring, right? This kryptonite ring, just in case he ever
Shit
lost
happened.
it. He wanted Bruce to be the one that would stop him.
Will you
So-
marry me?
Yeah. So he keeps the ring on him for occasions just like today, and he's gonna go toe to toe and actually have look at the look on Catwoman's face. Good storytelling, good
She's thinking
acting.
about pawning it.
Dude,
she
she
could go
had
for it.
dude, great point. I didn't even think about that. I thought at first that she was kind of impressed, like, you know, getting a little turned down that she was gonna go, or the Bruce was gonna go hand-to-hand combat with Superman.
Yeah.
But now I think you're right. She's like, oh, how much could I get for that in the black market? She's like, I'm gonna snag that when I get a chance. Of course, all the bat bombs. I'm gonna set this up and get ready to roll here.
More smoochies.
more kissing. Again,
Yo, just because you get comfortable with somebody, like
yeah,
take
like
your
all of a
time.
sudden it's like, all right, calm down, woman. Like, you know,
Yeah,
not moving in just yet. You know,
yeah,
like just like we haven't even gone beyond first base yet. You know,
yeah. You
just
even click
calm
my
down,
balls or
calm
make me a
down.
sandwich. Yeah, the importance.
Uh, he sends her off on a mission. We'll find out what that is here in a second.
Cool
As the
shot.
classic looking Neil Adams, John Byrne-esque Superman comes plowing through the walls there, which Jim Lee's run on the Superman book was beautifully drawn, but wasn't as good as this. Like, it was kind of just hard to duplicate the excitement around Hush, even though, like, he jumped
Well,
to, like, go ahead, go ahead. The story probably could have been better, but
it definitely could have been better. Look, I was in my young 20s. I'm from
I
North
still liked it, don't
Jersey.
get me wrong. Yeah.
Oh, beautifully. It's beautifully boring. I didn't. I saw the towers go down. Like I didn't need somebody to tell me that war was bad. Like okay,
Right, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Oh,
A
thanks
little
for the
preachy,
message.
a
Yeah,
little
a little
preachy.
preachy. Oh,
Yeah,
weapons are bad. No shit. But we
yeah.
wanted that Hush. Like we wanted him to fight Metallo. We wanted him to
That's what it
fight
should have been.
Doomsday and fucking Parasite
That's what
and
it should have been.
all that guys.
If they had just duplicated Hush, but with Superman, I would have been fine with that. I'm
Yeah,
like, "That's cool. Do that," you know?
but I
Uh,
did like the talk between him and the preacher. I thought
that
that
was
was some
pretty cool.
beautiful. Yeah,
It was good.
yeah,
Yeah, that was probably the best dialogue work. This art-wise was great.
uh
Story-wise was okay. It was just
yeah,
nobody ever everybody talks about Hush.
yeah,
Nobody ever talks about Jim Lee's Superman run, which is that sucks because
yeah.
it should have been following up Hush. It should have been
Right.
like the next big thing. Like, oh, okay, of course, you put him on Superman. Let's have another 12-issue run of amazing epic storytelling. And I think they just hooked him up with the wrong writer. I think they
Oh
needed
yeah,
a different writer, a different story to
yeah,
work with him on,
yeah,
and it would have been a lot better than it was.
yeah. Hot writer at the time, different storytelling chops. Uh,
Yeah. Roy says, I think that was retconned, and every other time Batch used that ring, Soups was surprised. Okay.
uh,
And that probably, I mean, they've done so much retconning. You're probably 100% right on that.
engines. No.
Ingredients.
Uh,
Ingredients slipped into their meals. She's like, because later you might be jacked up. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
mm,
I like how Batman is asking why she kissed him. He knows why. The story, that story that Superman went, the
mm,
story for that Superman when Jim Lee was on it was terrible. Yeah, that was just
yeah.
it was a bad team up. Jim Lee needed a better writer on that
But
book.
here we got some classic Jim Lee poses, the knockout of
Yeah,
Superman, the Batman, that punch. Like, look, I still do this, and I'm like, it's just one of those things that's in your artistic morgue files, like it's ingrained in your head. That shot.
these are just the classic power punches. Like
Yeah.
just Jim Lee. Jim Lee also does. I don't think he does it in this book, or at least I can't remember. But he also does the head going in a different direction of the
Yep.
punch, which is
Hmm.
supposed to show like the impact, like the head is whipped around the other direction because of the punch, or good fun techniques.
Fun techniques.
But great splash there, great double page splash. And as far as the Superman fight, very good.
Hmm.
Batman Superman fight. Obviously the ring brings Superman down to earth a little bit more, so the Batman can actually go toe to toe. And I guess the trope with Superman has always been without his power, he's not a good hand to hand fighter. Which I guess that makes sense. I always thought it was stupid that you take his power away a little bit and he doesn't know how to do anything. Like
I feel
after
he's
how
like a
many years?
brawler. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Superman would over the years would have figured something out, but whatever. They do some good back and forth here. I like how they still use some of his power, freezing his hand here.
Yeah.
The whole idea here is
Oh,
Batman's not trying to really defeat Superman or to really inflict too much pain, as he's trying to get Superman really, if I remember correctly, to kind of snap out of this trance or whatever you want to say that he's in from Poison Ivy. Danger, high voltage.
don't
I
touch.
lied. Yeah, don't touch. And of course, with the kryptonite being in in play here, Superman can actually feel some of that. So he hits this whatever transistor. I wanted to say breaker.
Uh,
That's not it.
hmm.
Whatever. Knocks out the Empower in the entire city of Metropolis. Really cool, very simple silhouette shot of the city. But sometimes stuff like that, I don't know. Like, you know me, we're all fans of silhouettes in this show. Like, I can't get enough of silhouettes. I don't know why. They just look good.
They're cool.
I like them. Yeah,
Good
they look cool.
storytelling. Oh, you know, it's a
It's
cool thing too. Jeff Lowe said even numbers were action, odd numbers were story.
interesting. Now that's a good writer insight there.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. I never actually really thought about that before. Very cool. Again, Bat Tech, he was able to melt the ice on his hand there. We're just pushing a button. Again, it's funny because I've heard people say they don't like the whole like armored Batman when it comes to the movies and stuff. I was like, but go into the comics. It's not like Batman just was in tights. Like he had all this tech on his, depending on who was writing him, Batman always had all this tech on him everywhere to use, you know?
Oh, even in the Jim Lee sketchbook that they showed the Wizard building up to this, they showed him the costume like teched out. Let me see if I can find it. I'll look for it after we're done looking at this.
Okay.
But
Sheldon Martin
yeah,
says Superman is supposed to be super smart with an incredible memory. I don't see why he can't use that to learn any fighting techs. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like after all these years, you know, the times that he's lost his power to magical characters or whatever, you think he would have like figured something out. Uh, interesting thing here in the story. You use a little bit of a trope where Clark or Superman is always saving Lois Lane no matter what, right? In the history of comics, he's always there to save Lois Lane. So Batman, being an infinitely smart here and strategic, knows this and had Catwoman, when she disappeared earlier, sent her on this message to basically go get Lois as bait and throw her off the top of a building, which he was playing on the fact that Superman would instantly snap out. It'd be enough to break that trance that Ivy had on him, and he would instinctually go and save Lois, breaking him of everything and pulling him out of this trance, ending the fight. So fun storytelling, you
is
know.
this symbolism? Because the power of a pussy made his pecker.
Red Rocket. Wait,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah. Like he's not gonna
whoa.
see it. I gotta see my cooch.
That could be.
That's essentially what's going down.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could say love, but yeah, you know, whatever.
I wouldn't. But
Yeah. Great shot there. I love that.
Yeah.
Love all the lines, just taking these shadows down to the heavy blacks on his feet,
Beautiful
showing some speed at the same time without
Yeah,
any
and
speed lines around him.
it breaks the panel,
Hmm.
the border of it. So
I love a good panel break.
a
Nice, another
downward
down
shot.
shot there.
Yeah.
Again, good angles. Like
Muscles. Yeah. Yeah.
the thing that impresses me about Jim Lee is he knows the human body so well. If you watch him
Mhm.
draw on his Twitch streams, which I haven't done, I don't even know if he does them anymore, but he was doing them for a while there, a few years back, and just he'll talk about like knowing how certain muscles look from all these different angles. Like that's pretty impressive. Like I
Mhm.
know the human body pretty decently, but like to hear him talk about it, he's like, oh well, this muscle would do this from this angle. You draw it like this. I'm like, damn, dude, like that's years of perfection.
There's a
Right.
science behind it. Like he even took like mime classes, like to figure out like count their balance of everything, which it sounds silly, but you know, it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
he takes it to like a philosophical type of way. Like I would like to talk to him, Fraga,
Mm,
and who else? Well, just those two. Like artsy fartsy. Like get us with those two guys and just talk the artsy fartsy shit
yeah.
about it, like the nitty gritty. That would be a fucking conversation.
Michael Pritchard says, although in Dark Knight 3, they show that Superman was always pulling back with his fighting abilities. Interesting. I never read that one. Roy said, David Williams told a story about Jim Lee, how Jim Lee told him always be selling in every panel, which is why he tries to always have the characters' faces in view. Yeah. Great philosophy. I love the style here. If you go back up to Batman real quick. I love how Jim basically uses the shape of the arm muscles on the outside, some shadow work to kind of define and refine those muscles, and then very light. It looks like a lot of lines, but comparative to a lot of cross hatching and stuff, very light line work to show the rounding and dimensions of those muscles. Muscles. That's one thing I'm trying to figure out in my own art, get better at, because I tend to be very I overdraw some things. Not that it looks bad in my opinion. I enjoy doing it, but when I watch masters or when I look at master work like Jim Lee, Silvestri, and all these guys, and I see like what lines they don't use, I'm like, oh, that pulling back a little bit, it takes it from being, too muddy. And it allows your eyes to see it and adjust to it and presents everything. I don't know. That's some artsy
I'm
talk
with you.
technique, I guess you could say. It's
I'm
hard for
with
me to
you.
explain. I'm not a teacher. That's why I would never be a teacher. Some people are like, why don't you ever talk about, how to draw? I'm like, I can't fucking explain this shit. Not like
this
some
is
people can.
art and stuff. So
Yeah, we can appreciate the art here.
different show.
Oh, I like that. I like that angle. Hot.
Are you looking where I'm looking?
I was looking exactly where you're looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Does she not
Again.
fold her laundry?
Yeah. Put the money down. Like hell. She's all badass till she sees Superman there. He's like, hey, your green lipstick BJ doesn't work anymore. Unless you want to try it again. Just one more
But it
time. Just to see. It might.
But BJ's
we'll
not
find
going to
out.
solve this argument.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Yo, guys, when you get in your argument with your girl, and then you make up, or she's wrong, and she realizes she's wrong, and like in the back of your head, you're like, not even a fucking blowjob is gonna save this art. Like, I'm gonna be pissed. I was proven wrong many times because a blowjob could save many, many things.
That's a great way to just end a argument, ladies
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, pucker up.
Just saying. YSA's in the house. What's going on,
What's
brother?
up, brother? Good to see you.
You just draw. It's so simple. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like that's how I explain it. You just do that.
Just draw it.
Figure it out. Crypto. Wait, what's his name?
Yeah,
Is it
crypto.
Crypto? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Crypto's in the house. Grr. Stopping the redhead from running away. And then we get a nice woman on woman action here. Catwoman gets her just desserts, her revenge from being controlled in the last episode we watched here, or we streamed here. Got her done, got her down. Because I don't think Batman's above slapping a woman around. Superman, I definitely don't think would do it. So it's good that they had Catwoman and be like, you just do that.
Cool pose. Cool
Great
pose alert.
pose.
Cool pose alert.
Great pose.
And what's
Comic books.
interesting is that
Visual-
he was trying to find not to draw a Wolverine.
True. That's, yeah. No, I get you on that. When it comes to poses, jumping, lunging, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it would probably be very easy for him to kind of fall back into the Wolverine aesthetic. But comic books, such a visual medium. Yes, sequential storytelling is great, but damn it, man, put something cool on every page if you can.
Cool school.
Cool, the rule of cool on every page if you can. What are friends for? Hush is back, checking everything out, watching what he has set up here, keeping his eyes on nice leg muscle work there. I like that on Batman or on Superman. Doesn't skip leg day. Blue Boy's in the house. Says, we all know Ivy has thorns in her V felt. I hope not.
Blue, you're my boy.
You're my boy, Blue. I'd test it out.
Yeah.
I would be like, I want to see what's going on. Just in case. Christopher Bouchard's in the house.
Good to see
What's going
you,
on, brother? Pizza says, I have noticed that the thighs are tougher, just like fingers. The line between them is not drawn. There's a lot of line work that's interesting. We don't connect lines that work very, very well. I think when you're a young artist, you feel like you have to draw connections to everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this line has to connect, and it looks good to you, but when you realize that, you can break a lot of lines and it still gives the same kind of aesthetic, works very well. Someone posted a demo of how almost all manga faces are cats' faces. He drew over Cars' face and then matched up Cars.
Maybe
Jim Lee has
cats.
some of that in his female. Oh, cats. Now that's interesting, Roy.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. I could see that though with the eyes. Yeah, interesting.
Now
Yeah,
this
Jim Lee
was one
definitely
of
has
my.
some of the manga influence. Go ahead,
Oh
man.
yeah, well it's anime, like the or
Yeah, the anime
animation,
stuff. Yeah.
from Adams cartoons, John Byrne. But this one was one of my least favorite issues.
This one
'Cause-
was?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
This is the Joker one, right?
He's in it at the end, but this is
Oh,
when they're fighting
okay.
in the opera.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, let's dive into it. Which one? What are we on here?
This is the third one we gotta look at. So
Okay,
13.
so this is 613.
That's the last one.
Okay, this is the last one for tonight. We'll dive into. I thought we were going to be getting into the Joker one tonight, but
No, it's
I,
next
I think
week.
you're right. I think I do kind of forget about it. Like beautiful line work. Like look at the city. There.
Gorgeous. It's visually beautiful. It's just a bit
Yeah.
boring. You know.
And that's a great point that you brought up with Loeb with the odds and evens story and action. Like that's interesting. I didn't think about that till right now. Great point. But yeah, you might be right on this. Like I keep thinking that this is always my mind just always goes to the Joker scene, and I do think I forget that they have the whole opera Harley Quinn scene in this book. So anyways, back in Gotham City doing Bruce Wayne Playboy things. He's got Selena in a very sexy short dress there going out to the opera, getting a little bit of going out with Thomas Elliot. Redheads never trust a redhead.
I was gonna say Healy, but I'm like, no, that's a Spawn's guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Editor of Spawn. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful architecture.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what the take on this issue is. It is kind of story building, storytelling. You're getting a little bit of more. So they're trying to build up Thomas Elliott's character a little bit in this. I think, especially with the impact of the end of the issue, trying to really maybe get you a little bit more in the feels and the connecting with his character a little bit more. So that could definitely be.
And it's like
Yes, I know it's an odd performance.
Big
Yeah.
Plex turns into this crazy twat.
Yeah, it's a nice shot though.
No, it is. It's visually beautiful. It's just a little lackluster.
You know what I love though? And this is not from necessarily a perverted angle. I love the crotch hip area
Hard sell.
that just the way it looks.
Yeah.
It's very smooth, like when it comes to the lighting, especially in the blue, not necessarily the red, because you don't do a lot of shadows in the red.
No.
He's doing heavy shadows though in the darker part of the costume with the blue highlights. But he did this a lot too in the Wildcat stuff, where there was something about just the way that the crotch, in the way that the female anatomy of the leg that comes off of the crotch. Again, this is nothing to do like a sexual aspect, just like the way it looks visually. Like there's something about that it's been very appealing. Like it just, I don't know, it's nice techniques, I guess.
Old panel
And of
design.
resilient is what I'm hearing. Absolutely.
I like it.
Absolutely. This is that classic Jim Lee. So I've said this before, like Jim Lee does a lot of this stuff. We saw earlier issues where he'll draw the sequence of the character jumping or doing some kind of action, and then it's just kind of ghosted out as it's going through. But you see like the entire movement bouncing around. And I don't really know Harley Quinn could do that kind of move. I mean, that's a pretty impressive move to go all the way up to the second, balcony there with that flip. But I guess she does have spring. I guess she does have like the springs on her feet. I guess that works.
Comic science.
No under butt cheeks. That's true.
Yeah.
I do like some under butt cheeks though. I do like some under butt cheeks. So to me, this is just like a straight up classic, just rob, right? Like she's just there to rob the rich people.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that really, as far as I know, got time scales in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's on, brother? Good to see you. Hope all is well.
So here's if you want to hold up here,
Yeah.
the biggest point to this entire issue, in my opinion, is this scene right here. So Thomas Elliot is just one of the people that he's being robbed, right? But he takes, or Harley wants this like necklace thing or whatever this is, and this amulet or donut looking ring thing, regardless of whatever it is, it was the last thing he has of his mom, which if you remember a couple issues ago, it was his mom that died. Wait, which one died that Thomas saved? Or did they both die? No, just fuck. Now I'm
I think
forgetting
the
the
mother
story.
died. Somebody go
It's the
watch
mother.
her last week. Yeah, I think the
Someone,
mother.
yes, I'm forgetting some of the backstory there. Anyway, this belongs to his mother, so he's not going to give it up. It's something that means a lot to him. She ends up taking it, which ends up with him chasing him after, which leads into the end of the issue cliffhanger here. But this was an important part in the actual story of the book, of the story of the character at this point of Thomas Elliot. If you haven't read the book, you know what happened. You don't know what happened. So at this point, Thomas Elliot, this is all. Oh, here we go. So I knew they explained it. Yeah, okay.
Good for you.
If we just kept reading, I don't really remember this issue though. I'll tell you that.
See,
Like
it's lackluster.
so okay. So we're gonna flashback. Bruce took it at one point, and instantly Thomas Elliot got pissed off and started beating the shit out of Bruce. You know, like that kind of thing. I don't know if he really beat the shit out of him. Give him a nice. He punched Bruce quite a bit when they were younger. If you notice
Yeah,
that.
what a dick.
Like, what kind of friend is that?
Yeah.
Like this dude is constantly punching me in the face. What the hell?
Maybe it's like rich white people shit. I would love to be on that level.
Yeah, I would take that. I would
Yeah.
take that. Yeah, it's a jade pendant. Was very important to Tommy. It belonged to his mother, so he wasn't giving it up.
Yeah.
And he says, "No."
Interesting they broke the panel.
Yeah, I almost wonder if it's just because he's doing the grid there,
Oh, probably, yeah.
you know, and so just it worked with the grid, even though he's showing the movement. You know, that's the only thing I can think of why they broke the panel, or why he broke the panel there. So anyway, this is the parallel between Bruce and Thomas, right? Like Bruce lost both his parents. Thomas lost both his parents eventually, but I think at first he only lost his mom or something like that.
Mhm.
And so every time you kind of see this correlation, you know, Bruce remembers like the death of his parents. You see the pearls there and all that kind of stuff. You know,
That's tough.
yeah, great shot, a recreated shot. You know, we see that iconic image there of the dead Waynes, but again, in that like kind of ink wash technique that Jim was using at the time in the flashbacks.
Beautiful
Just
stuff.
boys being boys. Yeah,
Yep.
you know how that goes. Some more jumpy movements like that. Jim was like really into this in this issue. Like he's like
Great
going
gestures.
all out.
Yeah.
Beautiful gestures, yeah. But like he was like all about that.
That one's
Four
tough.
different Harleys.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I'd say the
Just
second
fantastic.
one. Yeah, I would say the second one. Yeah, the top pose right there. Yep.
Good shit.
You know
good
what's
shit.
weird is every once in a while I'll see a little bit of like Eric Larson in some of Jim's.
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like it's weird to say. It's weird to say, but
Yeah.
every once in a while I see something. I'm like, it reminds me of Larson. There was something earlier in one of the issues we were looking at tonight where I was just like, it kind of reminds me of a little bit of Larson too. Yes, called foreshadowing. Absolutely. If there's a pose that showcases both under butt cheeks, main or side boob man, all of the above.
I'll take it all. I'm greedy.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, Thomas Elliot, all angry, just beside himself with rage. Got the Wolverine face right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care what anyone says. Like that's
No, I was gonna say that. I was gonna
that's
say that or the saber.
it's a very cleaned up Wolverine nose and everything. Goes just running after Harley Quinn there, and Catwoman decides like, you know what, I need to get into this. I need to get into this fight here. This dress that is creeping up on my lady parts is not working.
Ooh.
But I would say go for it. Just see where it goes. Beautiful double pager here.
Oh yeah.
Now this is what I remember from this issue. This double page spread. one, you got a nice ass shot of Harley, but two, Jim is not skimping at all with the backgrounds here. I mean, the
No,
amount of time you take to put in the faces, including himself.
that's him right there.
That's right. Yeah, where Sean's pointing the cursor there, like he drew himself in there, and
Bunch
a
of
bunch of other
Wildstorm.
yeah,
Yeah.
people.
Mhm.
It's that's impressive. Like I see something like this, I'm like, who's got the time or the want to do that? Like that's insanity. Like so, you got Jim Lee there. I don't know who else you got there.
I think Sandra Hope's in one of them. That might be Sandra Hope. If
I was
not, I
thinking that.
don't
Yeah.
know. But can we just look at the perspective and the balcony and all? Not the balcony, but the architecture. Like I
Oh
love
yeah.
it. Like I'm hard right now.
No, I
Kevin,
like
I just
that.
said that.
Yeah.
But like how this
Clip
goes
that.
there and like the perspective and the points of view and the so great. Yes,
There's
sound
those
effects.
sound effects. Blam, blam, blam. Tread on the boots. No, it's a very just beautiful drawn. This entire issue, like I said, yeah, it could be a little boring. It doesn't stand out like some of the other issues do because I always seem to forget it.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, it's just like, my God.
Yeah.
Like, look at the what was those gas bombs or whatever he's throwing there. Details on that. Again, you got so many of the people that are in attendance, all the faces, like everybody's different. We said this too when we looked at the Batman Robin All-Star Appreciating Comic Book Art Live, where it's like, when he does the crowd scenes, he really doesn't skimp on all
No.
the details on people's faces.
Yeah.
We
Like
got the Gooch in the house. What up,
yo,
brother?
there's a
Good to see you,
guy.
man.
There's a guy.
Hope you're doing
Subscribe.
well.
Hit the like button. Get his channel. Be a member.
Diabolical Soul Studios, kicking ass, growing fast. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
like
I'm gonna
that.
coin that. Yeah, kicking
like
ass,
that.
growing fast. Everybody go sub to the Gooch's channel.
And then tell him
Great
we
content
sent you.
over there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and tell him.
And then have him talk about us and how great we
Yeah,
are.
yeah. Reciprocate. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You
Yes.
just it's circular. It's a circular thing. That's what we gotta do. Twisted Dream says, "Oh, there's background hidden behind that ass." Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we only see the ass. That's a great point. You have to go beyond the ass,
Mhm.
and then you see all the nuggets. If it was a Rippaverse book, it would have been a sketched up 3D model traced.
That's why he needs to hire Jim Lee.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome, brother. You earned it, man. You
Yeah, we
earned it.
love you. We love you.
I do like that angle of the kick, though. We
Oh,
talk about
yes.
Jim and his karate kicks. That's an
Yeah.
interesting angle that I don't think you see. Usually it's kind of from flipped around, like a
Yeah.
180 look of the kick. And that I like that. Again, Jim experiments with the different angles, and I think he nails it a lot of stuff. I still think he's one of the best sequential storytellers in the biz, even to this day.
Sure. Look
And
at the
just do
coloring
stuff like
too.
that.
Like the lighting and the shadowing and the cuts and just to make the definition form of the muscular
Oh,
shapes.
love it.
The three of them. I'm telling you, the three of them. Such a great fucking team.
I've never been so turned on looking at a dude's leg before.
Mm-hmm.
Just love the line work.
Yo,
Black Spiders is in the house. What's going on, brother? Great to see you,
what
man.
you doing?
Look beyond the ass. I didn't know
No.
there was such a place.
I will never.
Yeah. You got little batarangs. Oh, that looks painful. There's some Frank Miller stuff just sticking in
Yeah.
people's bodies. The carnage. Oh, yeah. I don't care about the Rippaverse drama in this chat, guys.
I
Just, you know.
do. Subscribe to my channel where I talk nothing about it.
Questions. Can you take a Batman kick to the face? No,
Yeah.
I don't think
Fucking
I
Sean
could.
Ahrent. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Jersey.
Sean could. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
You
I'll
know what
let
I mean?
Sean experiment with that.
And then I'll sue Bruce Wayne.
Well, see now, there you go. That's the strategy right there. If you know who he is,
Yeah.
get that money. Get that money.
I like Milkshake or whatever the fuck his name is from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I'm a great detective
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Harley bringing the house down, so to speak, sandbagging him. You know what I'm saying?
Great hands. Yeah.
Again, yeah, nice hands. Silvestri, Lee, they
Yup.
draw some really good hands. Hands are a bitch to draw, man.
Hands suck.
They suck. But when you get it, it's very satisfying. When you draw a good
Mhm.
hand, you're like, man, look at that hand. You actually get the sense that Harley got the jump on Batman for a second.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Batman actually takes his lumps in this story a few times. Like that first issue where he falls down and all the homeless the displaced homeowners are getting ready to take him out and he has to get helped out by Huntress there.
Yeah.
And this right now, no shade or anything, but you set up storytelling wise, whatever, you set up a really good introduction for Catwoman. Yeah, she's coming and saving the day, but it sets up the entrance, right, very well. And you get this nice um is this a double pager?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you get this another nice double page spread. I forgot that they had three. Is this the third double page in this one?
Maybe more. Yeah. I'm fucking shot.
Jim Lee must have been bored. He must have been like, yeah, there's not a lot to do in this issue, so let's really just go all out with the big
Yeah.
pages. You know what I'm saying?
I could get behind that.
I seen an issue Batman kick through a damn tree. Batroids. Yeah.
Ooh.
I like after you draw a good hand and you're like, I did a job on that hand. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Another, this is I think at least the third or fourth time we've seen multiple Harley Quinns in action.
Mm-hmm.
Good motions though.
Oh yeah.
You have some good female fights.
Yeah.
Again,
feminism.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Batman slap one of these characters around every just once in a while, just just to let them know, like I'm the goddamn Batman. But I guess we can have the female and female action. Great hand there, the Catwoman hand from that perspective.
Yup.
Like I don't know if I can't do it from this angle.
Yeah.
Still got all the fingers in there,
Yeah, I counted those.
which honestly, technically,
I'll have to.
you don't technically need to.
Yeah. But
Like
somebody will fucking give you shit.
Somebody
art
probably
style
would.
or some editor.
Oh yeah.
Like, where's those fingers? Like, shut up.
I'm like, all right, let me drag it down. Let me drag the point down just so we can tell it's a fucking hand. That's an interesting thing about drawing is like every once in a while you're going to draw an angle that theoretically you're not going to see every single finger. But
Right.
somebody's going to be out there and be like, oh, he only drew a hand with 4 fingers. Like they caught something.
Yeah, it's Bart Simpson.
Idiots. Damn, look at the amount of Harley Quinns in that.
Yeah.
And Catwoman's. Like that. Look at the action going on in this panel. Shout out Jim.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey nerds, could one of you scan this and then copy and paste each of these to make it like a cartoon or a moving image? So it's
That's pretty impressive.
yeah, I believe in you guys.
Mark Silvestri had some badass hand positions with Ellis. Mark Silvestri is the master. Jim Lee's great at hands, don't get me wrong. I think Mark Silvestri is the master at drawing hands. Absolutely. That's a lot of booty. It is a lot of booty.
Do more.
You can never go wrong with the booty. You can never have too little. That's a great shot right there. Batman, Catwoman gets a little messed up in this. I thought we were going into the Joker issue. That's going to have to wait till next week.
Yeah.
Because it really shows a kind of a breaking point for Batman. And it starts really right here with Catwoman being really injured. And we just know that Batman went through this whole romantic kissy phase where like their relationship is kind of moving right in a direction where they're getting a little bit more, maybe Batman's letting his guard down a little bit, caring for her a little more. And so what happens in the next issue where he absolutely just beats the shit out of the Joker all stems from starting right here with Catwoman being very, very injured and then coming out to the end here in a second.
Did he bite her? Is he biting her?
Yeah. No, it does look like that though if you just glance. They showed a little bit of the teeth. It probably wasn't even necessary. You could have probably just brought the arm up just a little bit higher and hid that entire mouth and would have been fine. So Harley Quinn's getting away, or at least she thinks she's getting away, and Thomas comes out of nowhere still wanting that amulet, and a swift kick to the junk puts a stop to that real fast. Harley Quinn ain't messing around. She knows what to do. There's some more Harley Quinns. Look at that.
I love the ink brush techniques and these backgrounds. The dry brush effect is just fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Here
Selena's earrings. My heart's on fire.
Voting
But after what Harley did to Selena, I have to. Crack. Bam. No. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. And we end on this very demented looking Joker shot. So you hear this shot, you come out here and you got the Thomas Elliot seemingly shot through the heart, dead on the ground. Joker's here with his bang gun. And so right off the bat, we are led to believe that the Joker, or at least Batman's led to believe that the Joker just took out Thomas Elliot going into the next issue. Good cliffhanger here. If you guys get the unwrapped version of this, the graffiti on the background is really interesting. Some of it is just nonsensical lines, but there are some writings on there. I think maybe it's the next issue, but there's again Easter eggs and names and things of that in the graffiti in the background.
The next issue, there's one where there's a bunch of Jokers in the backgrounds and
Yeah, he
clouds
does
and
some
shit.
he does some cool artwork in the next issue, which is I thought we were getting to that tonight. I completely forgot about the opera issue. So we'll start out next week with a really awesome one of my favorite issues. It just really pushes the limit on Batman possibly breaking his one rule. His
Here's
no kill rule.
Batman Tech from Jim Lee.
Oh, nice.
So that's how he was thinking about how the suit would be. You know, what's under the armor under the suit.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like how he thought that out. We got Statistical Zero in the house. Says I was in high school when this came out. My brother would pick each installment up every month for me. Good memories, though some of the pages seem different in the single issue than the trade. Interesting. It's been a while since I actually looked at all the single issues because I look at mostly, to be honest with you, I looked at mostly the unwrapped version of this more than anything. Just because I love the raw pencils of Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And I also have the inked version, the Scott Williams edition of this as well. So it's been a second since I've looked at the actual single issues. So interesting that they might have changed some of that. Sean Mars said Jim Lee said he put a message to his wife in each episode or issue. Nice.
What? What? Divorce?
What? Well, that was already behind this point, wasn't it?
No.
Wasn't he already with his new? No. This was. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, shout out. Unwrap so everyone's naked. Yes.
In my world.
Always.
No.
So that was issue 611 through 613 at Hush. We have 2 more episodes of this going. We will cover all 12 issue runs, getting you ready for the next Hush 2 that is coming out this month, at the end of this month. I think on the 26th, 27th, whatever that Wednesday is. And we're going to bring you right up to the launch of Hush 2, which we're going to talk about Hush 2 in just a second.
But apparently, Hush 2 has sold over 400,000 units so far. That's a lot. Now, I don't know how many variant covers that has to do with it, but 400,000 units, that's a lot in these days and times.
What's going on with this? Sorry, I need to get a new boom stand here. Need to upgrade that. Never holds the mic in place anymore. I think this is going to be anticipated. I think it's going to be well received. I'm looking forward to it. Let me pull this up here. So if you go to Facebook, there's been some drops of the first like friggin' 10 pages of Batman 158, I think is what it is that the Hush 2 is going to be in. First of all, you got this cool trailer. Let me play it. I don't know if the sound's going to work on this or not. What? That's not what I want to do. Gonna do full screen. There we go. That's up.
Look how small Jim is.
Yeah. Get the Joker fish back. There it is. Batman 158, March 26th. Let's do it.
Joe and I
Timing's
were
good.
talking prior to the show, but like, why doesn't DC and Marvel do commercials for their books? Like, it's very easy, like in this day and age with your phone, whatever, like to promote it, get people back into comic shops because everybody's saying comic shops are failing, and they are. Or it's fucking free promotion. Like, I don't get it. Like, is my jersey science like not making sense to these guys?
You saying the video didn't play? Did you not see that?
You not see what I'm seeing?
Sean, did you not see that?
I seen it.
You saw it too?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Send us a $10 super chat and we'll do the end.
We can't hear the audio, but not see what is. Oh, we can hear the audio, but you can't see what's playing. That's interesting.
That sucks to be you because that was awesome.
That's weird. Yeah, it popped up for us.
Yeah.
Reshare it. Streamables is being weird. We didn't see anything. All right, let me try. Let me try this again. We'll try. Let me bring it back up.
Man.
If it doesn't work this time,
Just
I don't know what to tell you. All right. Can you guys see this right
Let's
here?
fucking
Can you see the
know.
small screen? You didn't share the video with the chat. I shouldn't have to, though. It should just pop right up. That's usually how these screens work. Can you see this? The small screen here? Can everybody see this? Can anybody see the page that I'm showing right now? Okay, I can see the small screen. Good now. All right. I'm going to enlarge it, and you tell me. I'm watching him. All right.
damn.
Can you guys see the large? Yes, you see it now. The large screen. The large screen. Do you see it? Okay, that's weird. It popped up here the first time. It's weird it didn't show. All right, here we go. You might I'm gonna bring this value down. One more time. One more time again. Let's go.
One more time.
All right, here we go, everybody. All right, everyone's seeing it. Like I'm at a rave. There it is. Yeah, I know. Interesting animation, right? That's basically it right there. I'm glad you guys saw that the first time, or the second time. Apparently the first time didn't work. Facebook. So Alex Sinclair, this is Sinclair's page here, dropped because the black and whites of this dropped. And so he's like, the black and whites dropped. I guess he got permission. He shared a lot of the colored pages. So let me know if this is popping up, guys, because if it's not, then I'm doing all this for nothing. Royce had never read Hush after the Boar Fest of Superman gave up on Jim's DC work. But he did Hush before that.
Yeah.
I think it just needed to be loaded. All right. Interesting animation. I saw that. More animated than motion comic, but still a comic style. Yeah, it definitely wasn't like Jim's anime, like a motion comic, but interesting
You think that
trailer.
was AI?
I wondered nowadays. Could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine this as a crowdfunding, selling those numbers at $25 a pop. Yeah. So here's some pages from Hush 2, Batman 158. They basically gave about half the book. If you can find almost, I think, about half the book online without the script. So we're seeing, Sean and I want to talk about this a little bit because there's been some mixed reviews, I guess, about the art in this book. And as big of a Jim Lee fan as I am, I see slightly different style comparative to his Hush run. Some people seem to like this, other people seem to push back. Everyone's got to have something to complain about. I get it. What I see in this is a little bit more simplified stuff, right? look at the line works a lot simpler than some of the stuff we saw in Hush, or even the stuff we see when he inks himself, which he goes a lot more liney, a lot more sketchy when he inks himself. My theory is that some of these pages may be heavy lifting by Scott Williams. I don't know that for sure,
We'll spread that
but
over here.
I feel like some of this stuff might be a lot looser than he normally draws. Maybe time wise, getting the stuff out when he needs it to be out, and so Scott's picking up, more of the finishing, and this is kind of a little bit looser. You see how fast Jim Lee draws now. I mean, like, you watch him draw on stream, and that could be. I think it still looks good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Sean, what do you think? Like,
If we're gonna do a comparison, like
Yeah.
this stuff looks like older in the sense that this could go with like the 70s Super Friends cartoons or the Adventures of Batman and Robin. Like it looks like a more style, more rendered Todd Nook.
yeah,
But I'm with it. Like it's Jim Lee. The guy's getting older. We're not going to get much of the guys like him, Sylvester Liefeld, going down the line. So I'm going to take what I got. I got this beautiful Hush from 20 plus years ago.
yeah,
It's just fucking life, man. Like there's no, it's what it
and that might
is.
be it. That might be a really good, that might make a lot of sense. Mark Penguin says, "Yeah, to be fair, that doesn't really look like Jim Lee at all to me."
Yeah.
Statistical Zero says some of that looks a little bit more like Silvestri. The lines are definitely different than what Lee usually uses. More scratchy, says Statistical Zero. Art of Roy says it's like when Capullo went back to Spawn. Yeah, no, and those are great points, guys. I will absolutely agree with you on that. I'm still very much excited for Hush too. I will always like Jim Lee, and I've been pretty vocal here that some of the stuff that I've seen Jim Lee over the last few years, I haven't been as impressed with because he set such a high bar, right?
Hey, boy.
Very high bar. So anything underneath that bar, it seems like not as good of a job. Yeah. None of this is turning me off from wanting to buy the book. I'm still very excited to see what the sequel is going to be, what Hush, what the storyline, Jeff Loeb, and all that stuff. But some of the stuff like this, I think this is fine. This looks good. There's just some parts that I feel like if you guys have been following Scott Williams, he's been doing a lot more art, his own art stuff now. I think he even has a cover for Hush 2 coming out. And this kind of resembles a little bit more of that than it does classic Jim Lee, Scott Williams combination, which is why I'm like, I wonder if it's just a little bit more loose. Jim Lee is doing a little bit more loose, not as heavy rendering, and Scott Williams is coming in and getting a little bit more of Scott's style, and especially more of his art style, his penciler style going over Jim Lee's stuff, and you're getting a slightly different version of this combination. So that was a few pages there. I just wanted to show that off because that was dropped. And I don't know, I'm still very much excited. But yeah, compared to the first Hush run so far, it's we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Jim hasn't done sequential storytelling in how long? How many years has it been? The last thing he really did was the
Suicide Squad.
and that was like a split
Yeah,
book.
yeah. So that was like really like 6 issues at most collectively.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm still excited. It's still Jim Lee.
You can deter us.
Yeah, I'm always giving things the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see. But the thing that I brought up, I do think the entire Hush 2 thing, as excited as I am about it, it does feel like it's something that was kind of rushed.
Yeah.
I have no sources on that whatsoever, but I just feel like it's one of those ideas that was just kind of put in, be like, we need something. What should we do? Silvestri's Batman hit everybody. Net took a long time. Don't get me wrong, guys. Like, don't. As much as I love Silvestri, he was working on that for like 10 years.
Yeah.
All right. We know people that saw pages from issue 1 back in like 2012. If you see, I almost think he had to redraw a little bit or tweak things because that was the Batman 52 design that he was working off of, because it was supposed to take place when the new 52 was still rocking and rolling. So he had some time to work on that. I almost feel like this was that hit, and they're like, what do we do to follow that up? Like, who do we have in house? We got friggin' Jim Lee. You know, let's do Hush 2, one of the biggest stories we did in the last 20 years. You know, to me, it feels like a rush thing.
Mhm.
Not rushed in production wise, bad wise, but just something that's like, hey, let's do this. Let's get it out there. Let's get it out there for 2025. So we'll see. I'm still very, very excited. I'm going to be there. I'm going to buy every issue. We'll review it and we'll talk about it. And we'll go from there. But so far as the epicness of Hush, the first series, will never be touched in my mind. And I know that Roy is not as impressed of the DC Jim Lee work, because we've had conversations on X about it. And I completely respect that perspective. But I respect everything you say, Roy. Don't let Sean lie to you. No, I still think that the Hush run, story-wise, art-wise, was one of the pinnacles of DC at the time. And I think it really rejuvenated Batman, rejuvenated comics. And it's holds such a high standard in my mind. It's going to be hard to top.
Sure.
You know, so there's no way in my mind going into Hush 2 that I think it's going to get even near Hush 1. You know, it's like Dumb and Dumber, right?
Oh,
Dumb and Dumber came out, fantastic movie, classic, cult following, people love it of my generation. And then it takes them 20 years to do a sequel. And the sequel was okay. When you watch it just for itself, it's got its funny moments, but you know, it's just hard to do a sequel that far apart and bring the original gang back and having to recapture that spark, that glory that they had at that moment. You know, I feel like it's going to kind of be this. I think people are going to read it. They're going to be like, it was okay. I really feel like that's what people are going to say. I hope it sells well. I'm very excited about it, but I kind of feel like that's what it's going to be. But you know what? Jim Lee's getting older, Silvestri's getting older, Liefeld's getting older. All of our heroes, and we talked about this last week, are getting older. So anything they're putting out now, even if it's not up to par for what they've done in the past, I'm still excited. I'm going to take what I can get until those guys retire, because we only have so many years left of these guys producing work until that generation is pretty much done, you know, and retired. So same thing with Capullo, you know, Roy brought it up, like going back to Spawn after he hadn't been on Spawn in a while. It wasn't the same. Yeah, it was cool to see Capullo back on Spawn, but it wasn't the same Spawn Capullo style that he established in the 90s. It just wasn't, you know. So Art of Roy said his eyes were going on Silvestri. He had to have surgery in both eyes over the years. Jim Lee or Silvestri? Worry me, man.
How's his
So not
cholesterol?
Hush, but Rush.
Uh,
Badoompa. Looking forward to Rob Liefeld Batman miniseries in 2027. Is he doing one in 2027? Oh, I get what you're saying. That makes sense. Yeah. You know, honestly, why not? Let's get them all in there. Let's get all the heavy hitters in.
I don't
you
want
know?
Rob doing anybody else. Wait a minute. I want to see Rob destroy Extreme Studios characters. Me and the fucking
that
fans
back.
have been waiting for over 20 something years for
Yeah.
him to bring back the Extreme. And he's not going to do it. I hope he doesn't do it.
No, I take that back. I'm with Sean. I don't want to see Liefeld do anything except Extreme Studio
Or Thunder.
characters going forward.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Let's get back in the Extreme universe and let's give us stuff that we haven't had for 20 years. Like it, but done like clones. The Conan stuff just looked copied and pasted, even though I know he drew it. That worked for the Bad Boys though. Oh, for Bad Boys though. Yeah. So okay, Silvestri. Okay. Interesting.
Joe, I think, and I'm giving my flowers to our beautiful Kayla. You would like the not just the Buscema Conan shit.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying that. I mean, and I've seen it. I just haven't collected it. I'm a huge Buscema fan. I just haven't collected a lot of his work because it was like kind of and I've said this before, like, you know, I grew up in the 90s. I mean, I have my generation artists that I collected. And then there's other artists that came before them that I respect and know their work, like Byrne, Perez, Adams, you know, Buscema. I just haven't collected a lot of their work. But yeah, good stuff. Ghostmaker was a cool character. I get that for sure. Eric, one of our Spawn review guys jumping in the chat, says off topic, but always rumors of the new Tank Girl movie. You guys fan of Tank Girl comic and 90s movie? I never really read the comic. The movie was cool though.
The movie was cool. I've seen some of the comics. Never collected it, but the art was pretty cool.
Yeah. Sylvester had either glaucoma surgery or something. He had each done separately over a few years. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I did not. Well, maybe that's why it took so long to do that Batman book then. That's a good point. Gotta go, guys. Thanks for all the good, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for all you guys do. Thanks for what you do, man. We appreciate you. Jim Lee is too slick and clean for Batman. I don't know though. I mean, his Hush run I thought was great. I thought there was some good textures in there.
Well, Roy didn't see that.
I guess it just it depends on what you're looking for Batman. Like I don't need Batman drawn like gritty dark like Spawn, so to speak. Even Capullo's Batman when it came in it was much cleaner than his Spawn stuff, and I think works. You know, I guess it just depends on what you're looking for. All right, Statistical Zero, appreciate you. We're about to jump off here as well.
Yes.
The show went longer than I wanted it to because it's just a fun topic. You know, Sylvester had cataract surgery due to severe double vision. Oh man, that's a bummer. As big of a Sylvester fan as I am, you'd think I would have known that, but apparently I didn't.
Did you get his prostate checked yet? He's in his 70s, right?
Oh, geez.
It's creeping up.
Mid-60s? He's getting close. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Look, Sunday, the Ronan Joe Show, 10 p.m. Be there. I'll be square. It's a fun show. Just hang out, shoot the shit. Going to do some more conspiracy talk this Sunday. We talked a little bit about the did we land on the moon at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, trying to bring in some conspiracy stuff, trying to ease it in, like I say, like a gentleman, because I'm doing a lot of pop culture stuff, but some people are
like a gentleman.
Like a gentleman, ease it in like a gentleman, But
what about the
I'm
biggest one that there is?
Which one? What's that?
And it's brought up by the man himself, Michael Jackson. Is he black or white?
Oh, that's a one. That is one. Yeah, I'm going to dive into it. Ronan Joe Show, 10 p.m. this Sunday. Be there. It's going to be a fun show as always. Then be back here Monday. The Spawn review returns. We're going to be looking at Spawn 45 and getting the gang back together, rock and rolling, and then be right back here next Thursday, 8 p.m. for Hush Part 3. Part 3. Or whatever it's called.
This Saturday, I will be on the Don's channel at
yes.
7 p.m. We're going to be talking about Type 1. We're going to be drawing on the studio. He's probably going to make me blush. I'm really just going on there to hear his mom crack shit on him because that's probably like my favorite part. Like, she's awesome. I love Mama Don. No.
Everybody go check that out. That's it. That's what we do. Don't be a bum. Back Type 1. Reaper Destroyers in fulfillment right now. Thank you for being patient. The books are coming out slow, but they are getting out. We had I don't want to say a tragedy in the family, but a tragedy surrounding the family that has taken us all out of commission for the last week and a half. So there was kind of a pause there, but we're getting back into it, getting stuff out there. So I appreciate you guys' thoughts and prayers when it came to that. Roy says, last thing, he says, I do. I like the heavy shadows, blacks on bat, not feathered lines or cross hatching. Oh, okay, nice. See, I like a little more of the cross hatching stuff. Mark says, no, we didn't. We couldn't land on the moon in the 1960s, but in 2025, we still can't rescue astronauts stuck in space. Yeah, those guys have been up there for friggin' a while. So bringing them down, though. Elon, get on it.
Yeah.
Great show tonight. God bless. Have a good one. You too, brother. Thank you for joining us. Jim should have done his Death Below style and bash. Now that I'm 100% down.
Cool.
I'm 100% with you on that, Roy. I love that style. I think that would have rocked. All right, everybody, we are going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm running the short outro so we can get out of this place, but we will see you when we see you. Until then, be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later.
Don't listen to Jasper.